Hello, my plant lovelies. Welcome back to my channel. Today I will be repotting this sedum Alice Evans. This video here, I've already repotted it, but I will show you how I repotted it, and also wanted to mention about sun exposure and water, how I water this succulent, because when I first bought it, I was told that this succulent doesn't like water, the succulent needs shade. So when I bought it, it was actually in full shade. And I exposed it to full sun, about 6 to 8 hours a day of sun, and I will show you the difference. So I wanted to show you my soil medium again today. And today I have charcoal bits and rocks in there and 50% garden soil. So I do a 50-50 medium for my succulent soil. I do 50% greedy material and 50% garden soil. As you can see, it's very porous, and this is what it usually looks like. So I just wanted to show you that today. I do have a video on this channel of how I mix my succulent soil. So this was the succulent originally. As you can see, it's pushing up against each other. It's grown quite well. And when I first got it, it was just this one rosette. You see that big rosette right there? And it had a tiny little baby. So this is the mama and the baby. Okay. And as you can see, it has grown so many babies. It actually looks crested in some places. But when I first got it, it was just that tiny baby and one big mama. And now the baby has caught up with the mama, and I have two big succulents that have grown so many babies around them. And I'm very pleased to say that when I exposed it to the sun, this is when this happened. So I'm going to try to get it out of here, because I'm sure the roots are underneath these babies, and I don't want to break the stem because the stem is kind of skinny. So let's try to get them out of there with my tweezer slowly. As you can see, it's very top heavy and the stem is quite skinny. You'll see here in a little while, and it's got lots and lots of roots under there. So I want to put it in a deeper pot, so where the roots can kind of have room to grow, because the more root space you have, the bigger and faster your succulent will grow. As you can see, good, beautiful roots. So I'm going to clean them off, and I'll wash them off, and I will show you once I do that what it looks like. Sorry, I'm holding the camera with one hand here. So sorry, got lost a little bit there, but there we go. Try to get as much soil off as possible, and then I will wash the succulent. I'll wash the roots. So there we go. So I gotta get the other one out. So yeah, look at all those babies. I'm just so happy with this succulent and the way it looks. It's just a beautiful, beautiful succulent. So I'm gonna try and get the other one out. Make sure I don't damage those babies. Look at that. The roots are all underneath the babies. I mean, I should have repotted this a little while ago, but it's been growing happily. So get the babies out first, and then you'll see how healthy these roots are. I will be cleaning them up and cleaning up the succulent before I repot it. I always do that. Make sure all the dead leaves are off and make sure the roots are healthy. Check for mealybugs, stuff like that. There's no mealybugs. The roots look really, really well right now. Before I've even washed off, I can see that it has a lot of roots. But as you can see, the stem is really skinny. You see what I was talking about? The stem is very skinny and the succulent is very top heavy. So I was trying not to break it. So yeah, that's about it. Now that they're out, I can go ahead and wash them off and clean up the babies as well and repot them. So I will be putting them back in this pot right here because they'll have enough room to grow in that one. So there we go. I've cleaned them off, and I've cleaned off most of the dead leaves and the some of the dead roots, but I need to clean it up just a little bit more. And I'll just use my clean scissors and cut off those dead roots. Just like that. I just snip them off. Don't worry, new roots will grow as long as you don't cut the stem, because otherwise you'd have to leave it out for a little while for it to callus. But yeah, you can just snip those roots right off. It'll grow new roots. It'll give it space to grow new ones, new healthy roots. So yep, that's about it. I'll check for mealybugs. I'll check for aphids. Normally it won't get aphids until it's flowering. Aphids come when there's flowers. So the most I usually check for is mold and mealybugs, and this plant seems to be clear of both. The babies are still a little bit small, so I'll harvest the babies in maybe 2 to 3 months because they'll be big enough to be in individual pots. So there we go. Get all those dead leaves off. You don't want mealybugs hiding under those dead leaves. So now you can really see clearly that the succulent is really top heavy and the stem is really tiny. But yeah, so here's the pot. I'll be putting them in, and I'll show you how I get them in there with my tweezer. Put this one in there first, and then I'll show you the second one. That one's already in. Should have got, I think, a larger pot, but I think they'll do okay in here for now, as long as they have lots of room underneath to grow their roots. And there we go. Just make sure you don't press the stem too hard in there. Oh, you could break the stem, and that means you'd have to let it callus and then repot it another day. But yeah, so not too shabby. And I'm gonna go ahead and dress it up a little bit to make it nice and pretty. This is a terracotta pot that I painted red. I used acrylic paint actually. So far I've had no problems using acrylic paint on my terracotta pots that I know of, but I will keep an eye out because I prefer pots that are not painted. But I just wanted it to just have a little bit of a different, some color within my succulent collection. So I painted one red and I painted another one green. So I wanted to bring a little bit of brightness in my succulent stand. So yeah, so now that they're all dressed up, I'll go ahead and repot the little ones, and I'll show you the finished product here. So the roots should grow happily in this pot right here because it's nice and deep. And I won't water these for about a week or so. The leaves are nice and plump, so I don't have to worry about them. And as you can see, there's tons of babies. I'll be harvesting in about 2 to 3 months. So that's about it. And now I'm gonna go ahead and repot these babies in this this pot right here, and I have another one that I repotted a little while back, so you'll see that one as well that I have some babies in. And as you can see, I have it out with all the rest of my succulents exposed to the sun, exposed to the elements, and it's just been happily growing. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Please don't forget to subscribe for more updates, and as always, happy planting.